Have you ever felt like something has changed in your life, but you can't explain exactly what? Maybe the weather feels different, or your intuitions are stronger than ever. If this sounds familiar, chances are you are already experiencing the fifth dimension, a state of consciousness that many still don't even know exists. And believe me, the signs are all around you, hidden in the simplest things, like a repeating number, an intense dream, or a synchronicity that seems impossible to ignore. The truth is that living in the fifth dimension does not mean escaping life's challenges, but seeing them from a completely new perspective. Here, intuition becomes your guide, and old fears begin to lose their power over you. However, few people recognize these signs because they don't come with spotlights or explicit warnings. They are subtle, almost like whispers from the universe. If you are curious to know if you have already crossed the threshold of the third dimension and are vibrating in a higher state, pay attention. In this content, I will reveal the 7 hidden signs that show that your spiritual journey is much more advanced than you imagine. Some may seem counterintuitive, but once you identify them, you'll realize you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Get ready to open your mind, because what you're about to discover could completely transform the way you view your life and your connection to the universe. Are you ready to unlock the mysteries of the fifth dimension? It's as if the world has suddenly shrunk around you, isn't it? What once seemed satisfactory now sounds small, almost insignificant. This feeling of change is a call to something greater, a sign that you are vibrating at a higher frequency. Imagine yourself as an antenna capturing new waves, noticing nuances that previously went unnoticed. You feel that there is more than what meets the eye. Perhaps this realization came after a defining experience, such as an introspective trip or a moment of extreme synchronicity that changed your worldview. On this journey of transformation, it is not uncommon for you to feel disconnected from old habits and environments. That noisy cafe that was once your refuge can now feel suffocating. It's as if your energy needs wider, quieter spaces to flow. To align yourself with this new vibration, try spending more time in nature or creating a space at home where energy can flow freely. Simple things, like rearranging furniture or using crystals like amethyst and rose quartz, can intensify this feeling of harmony. You may also notice an inner restlessness, as if something is about to happen. And it is, believe me. The fifth dimension is like a portal that slowly opens, allowing you to see the world through a broader, more meaningful prism. Experiences that were once routine begin to carry hidden messages and a sense of purpose. An example of this is when you hear a random song that seems to describe exactly how you feel. It's not chance, it's synchronicity. This change can bring moments of doubt. After all, changing frequencies is like adjusting the channels on a radio. There is noise until you find the right tune. However, in the midst of this process, you begin to notice a pattern. The initial discomfort makes room for fullness. And this fullness is just the beginning, because with it comes the opening to see what was previously invisible. Maybe it's time to question what the past still means to you. There is a moment when looking back stops being an anchor and becomes a springboard. This is letting go of the past, a process as natural as the leaves that fall in autumn. People, places and objects that once carried so much meaning begin to lose their importance. Not that you forget them, but you understand that they fulfilled their role. It's like keeping an old letter. You read it, learned from it, and now you can let it go, knowing that the learning has stayed. This detachment is more peaceful than you imagine. It's not about forcing anything, but about allowing what no longer resonates with your frequency to dissolve. Think about that friend you lost touch with. Before, this might have brought guilt or sadness. Now, you feel a lightness, because you understand that each connection has its time. To facilitate this process, a powerful practice is to write a letter of gratitude to the past, mentioning everything good it brought and releasing what no longer makes sense. You may notice that certain objects, such as clothes or stored souvenirs, also begin to feel heavy. And it's okay to let them go. Physical detachment reflects emotional detachment. How about trying to donate what you no longer use? Choose a piece of clothing, hold it and ask yourself, does this still represent me? If the answer is no, maybe it's time to move on. This simple gesture is a symbolic step to make room for the new, both in the closet and in the soul. As you progress on this journey, you realize that the past doesn't disappear, it turns into learning. And, interestingly, the more you let go of what once was, the more clarity you gain about what really matters now. This is the paradox of letting go. By letting go, you come closer to who you really are. And this even begins to impact your perception of time, something that seems to take on a new dimension. Have you ever noticed how, on some days, the hours seem to fly by, while on others, time drags on as if it were frozen? When you begin to vibrate at higher frequencies, your perception of time changes in fascinating ways. It stops being a straight line and becomes something more fluid, as if it were dancing according to your energy. Moments of harmony and alignment make time speed up, while periods of introspection make it slower, almost suspended. This experience may seem confusing at first, but it carries a profound message. Time is not fixed, it responds to the state of your soul. Think about an afternoon when you were completely immersed in something you love, like painting, reading, or spending time with special people. The hours passed in a blink of an eye, right? On the other hand, that day when you were anxious seemed endless. It's a reminder that your vibration dictates the rhythm, not the other way around. To take advantage of this new relationship with time, it is essential to align your energy with the present moment. Techniques like mindfulness or meditation can be powerful. Try, for example, setting aside 5 minutes in the morning to breathe deeply and visualize your day flowing smoothly. By doing this, you not only perceive time differently, but you also create a deeper connection with your intuition, which often acts as a silent guide in the midst of the rush. As your perception of time adjusts, you begin to notice something curious. Certain times of the day seem to carry specific messages. Have you ever noticed how you often look at your watch at exactly 11:11 or 22:22? These synchronicities are not coincidences, they indicate that you are in tune with something bigger. And over time, you begin to recognize that these patterns are part of a universal network that connects everything around you. There is a moment in your journey when serendipity begins to feel planned. You notice repeating numbers, like 111 or 444, hear the same song in different places, or find a phrase in a book that answers a question that has been bothering you. This is pattern recognition, one of the clearest signs that you are in tune with the synchronicity of the universe. These events are like little notes left by the fifth dimension, indicating that you are on the right path. Imagine this. You think about someone you haven't spoken to in years, and that same day they send you a message. Or you're undecided about a decision, and then you see a billboard with the exact words you needed to hear. This is no coincidence, it is the universe responding to your vibration. To further connect with these messages, keep a journal. Write down the patterns you notice, like numbers, symbols, or unexpected encounters, and see how they begin to form a map that guides your journey. These patterns are a form of communication that transcends ordinary logic. They speak directly to your intuition, that inner voice we often ignore. To strengthen this connection, take a moment each day to reflect on the signs around you. If you see a repeating number, like 222, ask yourself, what was I thinking or feeling at that moment? Often, the answer lies in the question itself, as if the universe was giving a subtle nudge. Over time, you will realize that these patterns not only bring guidance, but also a sense of belonging. They reaffirm that you are connected to something greater, to a frequency that transcends the physical. This connection is an invitation to explore dimensions beyond what you perceive in the waking state, as if dreams themselves were portals to deeper truths. When you close your eyes at night and enter the world of dreams, you may not realize that you are accessing something much bigger. Dreams are portals to higher dimensions, where time, space, and even the laws of physics seem to dissolve. It is in this space that important messages arrive, wrapped in symbolism and mystery. For example, dreaming about a key could be a sign that you are about to uncover something important in your waking life. These dream portals not only offer insights, they also heal. Have you ever woken up after a dream feeling like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders? This happens because dreams often work on an energetic level, adjusting frequencies and releasing blockages. To better explore this potential, start keeping a dream journal. When you wake up, write down the details you can remember. Over time, you will notice patterns that reveal powerful messages. There are also those dreams that seem too real to be just fruits of the mind. Maybe you felt emotions so intense that you woke up with a racing heart or even tears in your eyes. These are moments when your soul travels beyond the physical, connecting to deep truths. Try meditating before bed, visualizing a portal of light and asking for clarity regarding a specific issue. You might be surprised by the answers that come your way. As you explore these portals, you will realize that dreams are not just disjointed stories, but rather a reflection of your spiritual transformation. They act as guides, showing you paths that you may not have noticed in your waking state. And as you align more deeply with these messages, you begin to feel your physical body responding, adjusting to the frequencies and energies that surround you. Suddenly, what seemed normal starts to seem excessive: loud sounds, bright lights, even certain textures or foods. This physical sensitivity is a direct reflection of your vibration rising. Your body, which has always been an antenna to capture energy, is now more in tune than ever. It's as if each cell is waking up to this new frequency, reacting to everything around it with more intensity. You may notice, for example, that some foods that were previously part of your routine now make you uncomfortable. Maybe heavy meats, refined sugars, or processed foods no longer resonate with your energy. What to do? Try a lighter diet, rich in fruits, fresh vegetables, and whole foods. Even hydration plays a fundamental role, as water helps regulate and amplify the body's frequencies. This sensitivity can also manifest emotionally, as if you absorb the energies of those around you. Have you ever walked into a room and felt everyone's mood as if it were your own? To protect your energy, visualize a bubble of light around you before leaving home. Practices such as coarse salt baths or the use of crystals, such as black tourmaline or selenite, can help create an energetic barrier. Although this may seem challenging, it is an invitation to take better care of yourself. Your body is showing you what works and what needs to be left behind. And as you adjust to these new demands, loneliness, which may previously have been uncomfortable, begins to take on a new meaning, bringing an unexpected sense of peace and alignment. Loneliness, which is so often seen as something negative, begins to reveal itself in a new light. When you align with higher frequencies, being with yourself stops being a burden and becomes a gift. It is in silence that you hear the sound of your own soul, connecting to a fullness that can only be found internally. It's not that you don't value connections with others, but you realize that they must come from the right place, and not from a need to fill gaps. Imagine a peaceful afternoon, just you, a notebook and a cup of tea. This moment, which might previously have seemed tedious, now becomes a golden opportunity to reflect, dream and reconnect. To make the most of this tranquility, try creating a daily ritual. It could be something simple, like meditating to relaxing music or taking a leisurely walk outside. The important thing is that this time is sacred, reserved exclusively for you. Over time, you realize that loneliness is not isolation, but rather a portal to universal connection. The more time you spend alone, the more you feel like you are connected to something bigger. This feeling of connection can come in unexpected ways: a bird landing nearby, a gentle breeze at a significant moment, or even a sudden intuition that answers an old question. These are subtle reminders that you are never truly alone. This tranquility transforms your interior, preparing you for a new level of sensitivity and perception. You discover that you can trust yourself and the wisdom that emerges from these lonely moments. And it is in this trust that your intuition begins to flourish, guiding your choices with a clarity that previously seemed unattainable. There was a time when loneliness felt like a void, right? But suddenly, being alone starts to bring a peace you never imagined. This change occurs because, on the spiritual journey, loneliness stops being an absence and becomes a presence, your own. It is in this space of silence that you connect with your essence and begin to hear what was previously muffled by external noise. Being alone does not mean being disconnected, but rather the opposite. When you give yourself the gift of solitude, you realize that you are deeply connected to the whole. A practical example is the moment you decide to spend an afternoon without technology, just reading or walking outside. This simple act can bring insights and clarity you wouldn't find in a crowd. Try spending a few minutes a day in contemplation, just observing your breathing. This tranquility comes from the fact that you learn to enjoy your own company. Solitude becomes a refuge, a time to recharge energy and align with your frequency. Many people find that, in these moments, their intuitions become clearer, and previously confusing thoughts begin to make sense. How about taking advantage of these periods to record your ideas in a notebook? Often, these notes can turn into concrete steps for your journey. Interestingly, the more comfortable you become in solitude, the more fulfilled you become. And that's when the universe starts to conspire, bringing connections that vibrate at the same frequency as you. This state of inner peace is not the end of the line, but the beginning of something even deeper, an alignment between your intuition and your greater mission. Have you ever noticed how often the right answer comes without warning, like a whisper inside you? This is your intuition, the most powerful guide there is. She doesn't scream or demand, she simply points the way, in a subtle but accurate way. As you align with higher frequencies, this inner voice becomes clearer, as if saying, "Trust, I am here." Intuition usually manifests itself as a hunch or a thought that appears out of nowhere. For example, maybe you feel like you should call someone, and when you do, you discover that they needed help. Or you feel an inexplicable attraction to a place or idea that later turns out to be crucial to your journey. To strengthen this connection, try practices like guided meditation or intuitive writing. Let the words flow without thinking, and see the answers that emerge. The key to trusting your intuition is to create an internal space of calm. It's not easy to hear that voice when your mind is full of noise. Try turning off distractions and setting aside moments of the day to simply listen. If a persistent idea comes up again and again, even if it seems irrational, pay attention. Intuition is rarely logical, but it is almost always accurate. Books like Osho's Intuition, Knowledge Beyond Logic, can help you understand and apply this power in everyday life. The more you follow your intuition, the more you realize that it is like a lighthouse, lighting the way even on the darkest nights. It guides not only your choices, but also your perception of the universe around you. And in this alignment, synchronicities begin to intensify, like repeating numbers that seem to whisper universal messages. You look at the clock and see 111. Soon after, a license plate displays 111. Coincidence? Not by far. These repeating numbers, especially 111, are like a blink of the universe, a reminder that you are connected to the greater flow of existence. 111 is a powerful symbol of alignment and manifestation. When it appears, it's as if the universe is saying, "Be careful with your thoughts now, they are becoming reality faster than ever." Seeing 111 is an invitation to adjust your energy and focus on the positive. It's time to stop and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What are my deepest desires? A practical example is creating affirmations based on what you want to manifest. Something like, I am in harmony with my mission, or, my energy attracts everything I need. These statements, repeated mentally or out loud, amplify your frequency and create a magnetic field for what you desire. Repeating numbers also carry the message that you are not alone. They are reminders that there is a universal connection sustaining you, even in times of doubt. When you see 111 again, take a moment to reflect and be grateful. Gratitude is a powerful tool that resonates directly with higher energies. Try keeping a gratitude journal to record these synchronicities and notice how they fit into events in your life. These numerical sequences are just the beginning of a cosmic dialogue. The more you pay attention, the more signs appear, like pieces of a puzzle coming together to form a bigger picture. These numbers not only point the way, but also prepare you for something even deeper, the understanding that the fifth dimension is more than an idea, it is a state of being. Entering the fifth dimension is like crossing a veil that separates the physical world from a broader and more harmonious reality. It is not a place, but a state of consciousness where duality dissolves, and intuition, synchronicity and unconditional love guide each step. Here, you realize that everything is connected, as if an invisible thread connects everything. Fulfillment stops being a distant goal and becomes your natural condition, a reflection of your high vibration. In the fifth dimension, challenges still exist, but they are seen from a new perspective. Problems stop being barriers and become learning opportunities. Imagine facing a difficult situation and instead of reacting with fear or resistance, you feel a deep calm, as if you know everything is exactly where it should be. This is the essence of this state, trusting the universal flow. To practice this trust, meditate regularly, visualizing a golden light surrounding you, symbolizing your connection with the whole. One of the biggest signs that you are in the fifth dimension is the perception that time is fluid and malleable. The now becomes more important than the past or the future, and you live each moment with more intensity and presence. Try practices like yoga or mindful breathing to ground yourself in this state. Additionally, cultivating daily gratitude helps raise your frequency, keeping you in tune with this higher dimension. The more you align with the fifth dimension, the more you realize that your mission is to share this energy with others. It is as if you become a channel for the frequency of love and spiritual transformation. And as you live this awareness, signs from the universe, such as the number 7, begin to appear more frequently, symbolizing the balance and fullness of this journey. The number 7 has been, throughout history, a symbol of spiritual plenitude and wisdom. It is no coincidence that it appears in so many traditions: the 7 chakras, the 7 days of the week, the 7 colors of the rainbow. It represents the entire process of evolution, the point where learning and experience meet to form a greater truth. When you begin to notice the number 7 in your life, it is a sign that you are in tune with deeper spiritual cycles. These signs can appear in different ways. You may notice the number 7 in addresses, dates, or even important moments. Maybe your way to work passes 7 traffic lights, or you receive a text at a time like 7:07. These events are reminders that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. To delve deeper into this meaning, try to pay attention to the context in which the number appears. What were you thinking or feeling at that moment? The symbolism of 7 also invites you to integrate all parts of yourself. He talks about balancing body, mind, and spirit, honoring each aspect of your journey. To practice this balance, make time for activities that nourish your energy on different levels. Meditate for the spirit, exercise for the body, and read or learn something new for the mind. This holistic approach helps you vibrate in harmony with the energies that number 7 represents. As you align with the symbolism of 7, you begin to realize that it is more than a number. It is a reminder of the perfection inherent in the spiritual journey. It's as if he said that, even in moments of uncertainty, there is a divine order guiding everything. And when you embrace this fullness, you open yourself to understanding the true essence of the fifth dimension, where intuition, synchronicity, and spiritual transformation become one reality. Now that you know the 7 signs that indicate that you are already living in the 5th dimension, the question that remains is, what will you do with this knowledge? The signs are there, asking you to connect even more with your intuition, abandon the weight of the past and embrace the fullness that is already within your reach. Are you willing to live more consciously, aligned with the energies that the universe has to offer? Think about it. What is stopping you from listening to the whispers of the universe? Is it the fear of change or the attachment to what no longer resonates with your vibration? Perhaps this is the perfect time to make a commitment to yourself, to trust your instincts more and open up to the synchronicities that appear on your path. And remember, living in the 5th dimension is not about perfection, but about alignment with who you really are. I want to know, which of these signs have you noticed in your life? Comment below and share your experience. Let's continue this conversation, because your journey can inspire other people who are awakening to this same path. And if you want to continue exploring topics like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you will always be connected to the tools and teachings that can help you expand your consciousness and transform your life. The universe is calling you, and the next step is yours.